never forget that my first day, I walked into the cooler and there was a 12-year-old. I remember my stomach just dropping because unfortunately she took her life. It did open my eyes to being like, okay, you're going to start seeing some shit that you have never seen, like baby caskets. That's really hard. Children in general, suicides, stuff like that, or like the saddest thing is like there's people that are sitting in the cabinet for 20 years. Nobody's picked up.
All right, Taylor. Well, thank you for coming on. It's been cool just watching your journey. I think I found you just through, I think it was your TikTok reel or something that you missed the Boise show, and that one like went super viral.
It did. I didn't expect that because like I don't post on social media, like not until recently, and like there was just so many people messaging me, obviously like asking me like, how did you do like all these things, and I'm like, well, fuck, how do I like go through this? I'm just gonna make a video because I had to own it. And like the shitty thing is like, so we lived 3 miles from the venue, and when we were checking in that day, it was hot. I mean,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
so hot. My mom's in premenopause. My husband is, he gets really hot easily. I didn't want to make them suffer. And then also, too, the judges were like, there is a live feed. If you're really close, just stay on top of the live feed. Not a big deal. So I asked, my family, like, what they thought. And I was like, okay. So as soon as wheelchair finishes up, wheelchair nationals, because that should have taken a minute. Plus, like, the men's lineup was huge. And then women's physique, women's figure master, then figure. So I was like, okay. And my husband is like glued to his phone, like
Yeah.
glued to it, like not looking away. And then all of a sudden he looks like pale white, and he's like, wellness is on. And I was like, what do you mean wellness is on? You know what I mean? Because I've been ready since 8:30. I was ready. Like, I
Yeah.
was just trying not to make them suffer. So we busted over there because it's like less than 10 minutes. And yeah, I missed it. And there was nothing I could do. And this sweet little thing, bikini girl, Hannah, came up to me, didn't even know her. And she's like, there's a Salt Lake City show. You need to go do it. And it's only a week away. So I went and did that. So that was a huge, huge turning point.
Oh, so you weren't even planning on doing the Salt Lake?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, me and my coach, we just wanted to do the Idaho show, qualify for nationals, have like 4 to 5 weeks in between there
Yeah.
to kind of like not reverse, obviously, but just to add a little bit more carbon, fill out a little bit more. Because obviously, like a local show versus like nationals, that's going to be a huge difference as far as like what the judges are looking for.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. So I've been in peak week since the last week of May, and I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you like what your thought was about going back to back, because I signed up to do that voluntarily, like
Yeah.
because I did Boise and Salt Lake, but I don't think I'll ever do that again. Like that was not the best. It wasn't like the experience. It was just like I couldn't really fully carb up for Boise because then I just
Right.
had a show the next week that I still had to do another cut for. So
I think it's different for everybody. So like for me, my very first show was 2018. And that was the only show I did. So like cuz one, I knew I wasn't ready to compete against like bigger girls. I looked like shit. Even though I placed well, i- you know what I mean? Back-to-back shows, I think it really just depends on what you're trying to accomplish. At an NPC level, I feel like maybe you're just being a little, not you personally, but like people who I've known people who do like 7 shows a year, and it's like,
mhm.
are you just doing it for the hardware? Do you just want to put a
Yeah.
trophy on your wall?
Yeah.
Because at that point, like, what are you really going for? Unless you're literally just doing it to stay on track. But our bodies are not meant to stay this lean
Yeah.
for this amount of time. Like,
Right.
I've been great this whole prep, but I'm starting to get to the point where like the week before universe, my temper is getting a little higher. My fuse is getting short. I notice like noises are agitating the shit out of me. Like little things and I'm like, okay, like this is going really long. So
Yeah.
like no matter the outcome at USA's, I'm done.
Yeah.
Absolutely done.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I wasn't really planning on doing it back to back, but then I was like, oh, I got family in Utah, and it's like only 7 days apart. I was like, I might as well at least do it for experience because I like,
that's not too bad though.
yeah,
Like
I was like, I
cuz
knew in Idaho it was gonna be the true novice because it was my very first time. And then in
mm,
Utah it would be the novice. So I was like, well, it'd be kind of different. And then in both classes I only had 3 people anyway, so I was like, I took home hardware either way. So
no, and that's so great cuz like what's nice too is like how you did it is like with it being back to back that quickly, there's realistically nothing negative that's going to happen. But
yeah,
there's some people, like you'll even see some pros because they're trying to qualify for Olympia, they're staying in peak like almost all year because they're doing show after show after
yeah,
show. And at that point, your body's going to hit a level of exhaustion. And eventually, you're not going to really crisp your physique the way you want it to.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because your body's
yeah,
going to be completely fatigued. Like I plan on, regardless, after this show to take about a year, year and a half off
yep,
just to build because girls are bigger. Like they're just monsters now. Not in a bad way, but I'm just like people when they see me online too, I think they think I'm just this absolutely mass monster because of camera angles. And it's like I'm 5'4", 5'5" on a good day, and I'm 120 pounds.
yeah,
So like people expect me at like 150, 5'9", and I'm like, no.
yeah,
Hi.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's a very interesting sport for sure. Like we were talking about that last night. I had 3 other people on, and they were all their first time show at Idaho. So we were all just like going over experiences, and it's just a whole culture shock for everybody. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that you don't think about, like obviously the prices and stuff.
Oh, isn't that astronomical? Like, well,
Yeah,
imagine for so lucky for me as a girl, like because I got a weird past. I do know how to do my hair and makeup, so luckily I save money on that. I do my own stage makeup. I do my own hair. I put in like it's called a halo piece, so it's like extensions, but I can pop her right out when she's done. But I know girls who spend $200 on makeup, $200 on hair, then you got $200 on tan, then you got
yeah, upwards of like $1,000 bikini or whatever, or
oh yeah,
their
yeah. Well,
that's what they're telling me.
I don't know about the other divisions, but like figure because we have designs and stuff, it's $1,000 for
It's wild.
for the suit. And I'm like, I remember when I competed in 2018, like it was like 500. And I was like, oh, that's so expensive. Why is it so expensive?
I was tripping at buying my swim trunks off of Amazon for like $80. I was like, $80 for swim
I would have
trunks?
totally traded you for
Yeah.
$80
Yeah.
when the girl told me $1,000 and she goes, that is a little cheaper than what I normally do. Not in a bad way, but she normally goes like 1,200, 1,400 because like she does intricate things. And I'm like,
Mhm.
whatever you can knock out for 1,000, I'm totally
Yeah.
good. Because also too, it's really been an adjustment because I've always been the breadwinner in my relationships. And this is my first relationship where I'm not. And he has me being a stay-at-home wife. And that has been a big, huge adjustment. So having someone pay my way has been not a hurt to my ego, but it's definitely, I don't know, rewiring my brain chemistry almost. Cause I'm like, okay, but I still feel guilty
Yeah.
as hell about it. So
Yeah, let's get into your past. So where are you from?
from Minnesota.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear the accent.
Yeah, I'm originally from Dexter, which is a town of 100 people.
Okay.
And then my mom and me moved in with my stepdad into Rochester, which is home of Mayo Clinic. So it's about an hour south of Minneapolis. Minnesota sucks. I don't recommend it to anybody. It's hot.
10,000 lakes, right?
10,000 lakes. Well, actually, we have a lot more than that. It's because they don't distinguish a lake unless it's 10 miles long.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
A
like
lot
it's
of
got
ponds then.
yeah, so it's got to be yeah, we have like ton more, but like
Yeah.
it's just but it's very humid. Our humidity levels actually beat Florida last year. So, that was hell. Um
That's crazy. I wouldn't think of that, but I guess all the water.
All
and
the
it's hot.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then it gets super cold. Like a couple years ago, we hit negative 65. They told us don't go outside. You could die. And then I remember Minneapolis and Chicago were scraping off homeless people with shovels
Oh
because
my
they froze
gosh.
to the ground. Like it gets that bad. They put an emergency warning saying like you have to let your dogs go to the bathroom in the house. Like they will get frostbite or your dogs will die. Like this is
Holy
serious.
shit.
Cars were abandoned everywhere. It looked like Armageddon, something like a Will Smith movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was really bad. Um, but moving to Idaho was honestly the weirdest but best decision I've ever made.
Was that when you were a kid?
No, I moved here in November of 23.
Okay, so what was like your childhood like then? Were you in physical sports or like fitness and stuff then too, or?
Yeah, yep. So, my dad is a Hall of Famer coach for high school, and he goes to state every year. So athletics is very important to him. My parents didn't stay together, but they made sure that I had to do a sport each season. So like I did volleyball, I did track, I tried basketball, I hated that. All the things, and so I stayed pretty active, but it was never like back then, like in the early 2000s, like lifting wasn't like common for
Mhm.
girls to do. Not like it was looked down on, but it wasn't something we were taught
Yeah.
ever. And then after high school, um, I it's not that I was bad at school. I just had to try really hard, like hours and hours and hours versus some people who could just study something and remember it. So I didn't know what I wanted to go to college for. I didn't have really anything calling on my heart, so, like, I went behind my mom's back and I enlisted in the Marine Corps.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and then,
Do
so
you have a
that
family history of going in the military?
no. There's my grandfather was Navy, um, and then obviously his dad was Navy as well, but other than that, no, and then I remember my mom was so pissed, not that she's, like, against military, she was just scared for, like, my safety and stuff like that, and she's like, because we come from Mayo, right? Mayo Clinic town, everybody's a nurse. She's
Yeah.
like, "Just become a nurse," and I'm like, "I hate people." Like, not that I
Yeah.
hate people, but I don't like people in those type of environments
Yeah.
to where I wanna be doing that stuff.
Right.
So, the Marine Corps was cool, I was,
What made you choose the Marines?
my friend Philip at the time, he was in the Marine Corps, and I texted him and I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about the military. Um, like, what do you think? Like, do you think I could do it?" And that son of a bitch reached out to his recruiter and gave him my information, and Staff Sergeant Paczynski called me right up, and I didn't get to talk to any other recruiter, like, or any other branch. Like, it was in stone, Marine Corps, which I'm very fortunate that it happened. Like, no, I did not enjoy my time in. Some really bad things had happened, but I'm grateful for the experience because it forced me to grow up when a lot of people in our generation are kind of just slumbags. Like they have no motivation to do anything. They live in their parents' basement, and it forced me to just like really have to pick up my shit and go. It taught me a lot of life skills as far as like mental. Like that's why I was able to do prep is like I tell myself, okay, if I can get through boot camp, I should be able to survive a prep.
Right.
I was a diesel operator in the Marine Corps. So I drove like 7-ton LVSR, Humvee, all that. And then I switched that into civilian. So then I was a semi driver. And then I paved asphalt and concrete for a long time.
Real blue collar.
Very blue collar.
Yeah.
So like when people see me now, because like what I used to look like to what I look like now,
I've seen that.
people
Yeah.
are
Not
like
even the
what?
same person.
No,
Yeah.
no. Because also like I did your typical Marine Corps thing. I married somebody I knew for 2 weeks. That wasn't
Oh, is that a Marine thing?
that was a Marine thing. Like
Did you
Marine.
meet him at like in the through the Marines?
Yep, I met him in Missouri when we were there for schooling. Um, it it was a bad time. So we got divorced in our first 6 months. Got back together after a year and a half because I was living with my aunt who was like a hoarder, right? Because I had just gotten out of the Marine Corps, and because I'm a little bit older than my ex husband. And I was like, oh my God, this is hell. And I was like, well, this can't be as bad as like this. So I get back with him and go back to California, all the things. And then once he gets out, we move to Minnesota. Well, shit kept getting worse. And then when I moved to Minnesota, I had like this big blonde mohawk because I wanted to like reinvent myself. And this lady that I had known for a long time, she ran a beauty school. And she's like, will you be my administrator, like admissions administrator? And I was like, I've never worked with females, so I don't know how this is gonna go. And she's like, oh no, you'll be great. Like you can do it. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. But like, I met this girl there. We became best friends. But the thing is like because I was in such a terrible marriage, and then she was also with like this like bad relationship as well. We trauma bonded and we got together. I had never been with girls. She had never been with girls. I to this day don't identify as gay. It was just one of those through lots of therapy and healing. I realized like trauma bonded shit. But we were together for a while. It's been a wild ride, and that's why like when you see old pictures of me, I was a very masked dyke lesbian. So it was not a good look. Like I wasn't allowed to look a certain way. Didn't want my hair and makeup done because it made her feel bad about herself. Couldn't dress girly, had to wear masculine clothes, wanted big person.
Yeah.
And when we moved here, my job didn't work out. And I was eating through my savings. And I'm paying all of her bills, my bills, her son's bills, and I could only eat literally one hot pocket a day. So I lost like 75 pounds my first month. And it was, yeah, I just had never been that skinny, but that's when I found my feminine side, weirdly. And I was like, huh, kind of like being like this. And she didn't like it. So, I mean, like, literally within the week we moved here. I mean, shit hit the fan. It was done. And yeah, it was pretty bad.
Dang. There's a
Yeah.
lot to unpack there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about the Marine, your boot camp life, because I always like ask people about their initial wave going into boot camp. Like it's all such a culture shock. Like, what was that like for you when you went into boot camp?
Oh, I remember showing up, and obviously, like your recruiters prepare you. They tell you like you're gonna get screamed at, you're gonna get all the things. But man, I did not expect some of the shit that did happen. Like this one girl, it was our very first day, and like we're sitting at the desk, and you're not like allowed to move. And this girl's hair was touching her collar, and for girls regs, like you either can put it in a bun or it can't touch your collar, and it did. So they literally go get like a rusty pair of kitchen scissors, slam it on my desk, and says, "Go cut her hair." And I was like, "No, like no, no." No." And I remember they picked up the desk and like was like this, and they're like, "Cut her fucking hair," and I'm like, "Okay." And then like she was Hispanic, so she had that really thick hair, and I remember just like going at it. I mean, I hacked it, but there was nothing else I could do. And oh, that girl had a vendetta against me for the rest of the boot camp. Like, I mean, it was chopped. Think of like Matilda, but like really bad, you know. I remember I stood too close to one of my DIs. She took my face and smashed it right into the metal rack, which chipped part of my tooth. Um, oh yeah, like
All within like the first couple weeks, or was that just throughout the whole experience?
that was like the first 3 weeks. Oh yeah, and then like the things they say to you, like to get inside your head. Like one girl, I shouldn't laugh at this. She knew that if she attempted suicide, she was gonna get kicked out. So like we had pull up bars, but the pull up bars aren't like that tall. Cause think about girls, we're not that tall, right? So she takes a bed sheet and like tries to hang herself, but she's like touching. And my DI goes out there and she's like, "Oh, that's too bad. Maybe I'll just let you sit here for a little bit. Maybe you'll succeed." And like left her there, and like and then finally the girl's like crying for help, and I'm just like, Oh my god, because like I'm laying in my rack, just like, oh my god, this is happening right now. Like, where the fuck am I? Like, just like, and then I remember one time my DI caught me like not asleep. So she grabbed tape and taped my eyeballs open. And she goes, "Good, you can stay awake for the rest of the goddamn night. And that tape better be there when I come and get you." And so I made sure like a fire watch came and woke me up. I re-taped my eyes open and I just they shoved one girl into a Foot Locker because she was 4'9", and they almost forgot about her. Like,
How many girls were in your unit?
so there's 2 platoons, so we had about 60 girls per platoon,
Wow.
and then people do drop, like get kicked out or they don't make it or they get hurt or whatever. But we were pretty much graduated with almost everybody. There was
Yeah.
only a couple drops.
It's gonna be pretty hard. Like I know they're gonna make you want to quit, but that's like the experience. That's the whole
Well,
experience
and
of
I
boot
think that's
camp, right?
also good too, because it's like you don't want to serve with somebody in a
Right.
combat zone who can't handle stress.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's the biggest thing is like we're turning into such a soft world, but we forget that like feelings don't matter. Like your feelings internally and how you treat yourself matter, but how the world perceives you and what your thoughts and feelings are, it
Yeah.
doesn't. Like your worth ethic does. Like how you treat other people does. And like the Marine Corps is such a yes, it's such a tough experience, but like it's such an eye opener of you really just gotta white knuckle it and knock it down and just keep it going, regardless of how you feel or what you're doing, or like you could be dying and you still gotta keep going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, David Goggins has a really good thing about like filling your cookie jar with these kind of experiences because then there's gonna be times in life when you're gonna be like involuntary pain is gonna come up, or like maybe during your prep, and you can look back and you'll be like, "Well, I went through harder things. Like I can make it through this."
oh yeah.
So like that's really what they're. I went through. I never went military, but when I was at the prison, I went through their CERT Academy, and their CERT Academy was like a 10-day paramilitary. And there were some things that they did to you, and you're like, "What the hell? How is this even training?" And then later on, you're like, "Oh, I get why you're doing this."
Oh
Like,
yeah. I can't imagine doing prison guard work. A few of my buddies did that, and that this is no.
well, it's
Just
funny
the
because when you were talking about like trauma bonding and you getting with that girl, I was just listening to another podcast about this chick that was in a Pocatello women's prison, and she was saying how the lesbian relationships in there are so hostile and toxic, and yeah, like you were saying that like
yes.
abusive.
Yes.
And like, yeah, they wwere so like, don't look at her like crazy. Just
Oh
like you were
yeah.
saying, I was like, just exactly reminded me of what I was hearing. And like,
Yeah,
crazy.
cause that's, like, one thing is, like, I don't wanna come on here and, like, bash her because I'm past that, but, like, the just the mental and emotional that came from that, like, I've been through both. I'll take black eyes over mental and emotional abuse any day,
Yeah,
honestly. It really messes with you. It makes you not feel value. It makes you question your spouse, especially for me, like, it made me question, like, I'm not to be, like, against, like, trans or anything, it's just not for me personally.
hmm,
Made me question myself. Made me question, like, am I not pretty enough to be a girl? Am I like, should I not be a girl? Like, what's wrong with me? And I met my husband, and I remember getting ready for that date and like trying to dress girly and like not come off like a dyke. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying, especially just the mental capacity of being like, how do I even put on makeup again? Like what,
yeah,
like all the things. Um, but I think with the Marine Corps and working blue collar and then doing all the things definitely made me sturdier than most girls. So I was
yeah,
able to just look at it and be like, not just because you have a past or let's say you have a trigger, um, doesn't define you. It doesn't define every human interaction you're going to have. You still have to have an open door for people. You can't be closed because you had one bad experience. So I went in with this relationship with a very open mind of like, he's not the same person. He's not that person.
yeah,
So just try to unlearn your toxic behavior because we all pick up toxic things if you're in a toxic relationship. Like overthinking, maybe yelling, all the things. Um, but when I say my husband is like the kindest soul, like greenest of green flags, makes me feel like I'm the big flashing red light in the relationship.
Yeah.
He's taught me a lot of things about just patience and communication and just being myself genuinely.
Yeah. How was it switching from like going from the feminine to like in the mohawk and then going really masculine? Like, did you just completely forget about the whole femininity side of it, or how was that?
Yeah, because like I could tell that it made her uncomfortable. And that's like one big thing is like as unfortunate as like when somebody doesn't like themselves, they're going to project, right? And they're going to put their insecurities on you. So like I took on like this daddy persona, right? Like what a lot of lesbians do, how there's a mask and there's a femme.
Hmm.
And I could tell, and I thought if I was good enough to her, loved on her enough that she would learn to love herself. And unfortunately, that was not the case. There was just too, not as saying like she couldn't still fix it, but like there was just so much self hate and self judgment that with her projection style, it was just a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
And so I became really, really masculine in a sense, I think to protect her in a way, I guess, in a weird ass way, if that kind of makes sense. Um, but after finding my feminine side, and I just have never been happier, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like, yeah, I would still say I have like a tomboy personality. Like a lot of people, a lot of guys meet me and they're like, "Why are you such a bro?" And I'm like, "Cause I've only worked with men, and I've
Yeah.
worked blue collar. Like even after the trucking, I delivered and install appliances. Like I was carrying in sub-zero fridges up people's stairs. I was, installing 60-inch ranges into people's houses, doing all the things. Um, so I just learned how to operate on that mentality of not really letting emotions override. Um, so that's kind of where I just removed all the emotion from going from femme to mask to femme again. Um, just kind of letting go and just going with what I felt in the day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How did you feel working in as a female in a pretty predominantly like different work jobs, like between the on the road, were you on the road trucking or what was it?
No, it was in city, so it was asphalt, concrete,
Okay,
that type of
but still
stuff.
pretty predominantly
Hmm.
male driven.
So I was the very first female and still to this day the only female that's ever worked there. And then I was the first female ever to be hired at Warner Stallion for appliance delivery and install because you had to take a strength test.
Yeah.
And at the time, so mind you, I was a lot heavier then, but I was like, like 165 at the time, and my squat was 365. So I don't know. I don't doubt I could even do that close. I can do 225 for like 3 sets of 10.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't try to do the heavy, heavy things. But I I don't know. I'm an only child,
Yeah, I
and
was gonna ask if you like grew up with brothers or something or
no, like I have a stepbrother, but they're my mom's fiance is a bit older than her, so his kids are much older than I am. Um, I didn't grow up with them. But I grew up a lot, like, spending time with my uncles and stuff, like, my Uncle Ray, I remember him tying me up in a tree with a harness at, like, 9 and teaching me how to chainsaw off this giant tree, like, learning weird boyish things,
yeah.
power tools, all the things, and I just really connected better with men. I think too, men remove emotion, not in a bad way, but they don't hold grudges the way women do or don't hold on to emotional things like the mental games
Yeah.
like the way women do. Cuz to like so I've written a book and I've sent it to a publisher and it's called The Road to Self-Awareness. And I write about that where I think in today's society I do think women are more of a problem than what people are saying. I think because women are becoming this like power hungry, but like I still am owed the world type of thing. It's created a lot of narcissistic women, and those narcissistic women are raising these future children. And we forget that we have to teach everybody with like kindness, materialistic things don't matter. Like nobody owes you anything. So, like, and I write about, like, how men are just being squashed on really, really bad, and I think that we don't give men enough credit. Like, yeah, there's shitty dudes out there, of course. There's shitty people in general,
Right.
but it doesn't mean men are the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I think that's there's a couple females that I could think of on Instagram. There's one like ginger chick, and she's really big about that. Like that men are just getting squashed on, and that women
Yeah.
are kind of just trying to take over and all these things. And like that's not really like the way that a family dynamic should work. And like you are creating these children that are just now not knowing what exactly the roles. Not like I know there's like gender specific roles, like people say whatever,
Right.
but you know,
No, exactly. And I think that's too like why like a lot of the new guys are like I don't want to say girly, but it's because they're being raised by women like this. They're not being taught how to be masculine because the women find it offensive and all the
right,
things. And it's like what really sickens me is where I see women say like, I don't have to do shit, but my man better make this amount of money. He better give me this type of ring. He better do this on dates. If he takes me to Cheesecake Factory in the first date, like he's a shitbag. And it's like, my first date with my ex-husband was in the Chow Hall in the Marine Corps. Like,
yeah. My wife
y-
and I's first date was at McDonald's in Weezer.
right? You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, I think people are losing connection just with humans in general.
yeah,
And that's what I love about the bodybuilding community is we're all suffering the same way. And I have never met better people than I have in the bodybuilding community. Like, obviously, there's a few like ick ones, but that's gonna be anywhere, right?
yeah.
But like, just like my favorite person I've met so far is Mary from 3D Fitness. She is the sweetest human being. Like, she came up to me at Salt Lake City, same thing as you. She saw my video about me missing my show, and I thought for sure I was in trouble because she goes, "Are you Taylor?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she just introduced herself, and like we hit it off, and then we did Universe together, so we were in New Jersey together.
Yeah,
And it's like people like her, people like Charlie, um, that just make the community so, so great and so comforting
yeah,
because it makes you kind of have faith in humanity again,
right.
to be honest. Just like you had Eric Espinoza on
Uh-huh.
here. I've never met him, but funny enough, like he saw my baking videos that I do for my husband, and he's like, "You should be friends with my wife." And now I'm best friends with his wife. And like I've never met him, but his wife has been over to my house like a million times. And like he's in the bodybuilding community as like a photographer.
Yeah,
And that's what I love is all the connectivity that people they're like, let's reach out, let's connect, let's do this.
right.
All the things.
Yeah, and I think it's important too to have a life outside of bodybuilding.
Oh
Like it's cool
yeah.
that you like to bake or like other things that, but it's not like this just consumes your whole life. I
No.
mean, I think some people probably that consumes their whole life, but there's probably also people that want to do like Olympian careers and like that's just their only thing. But I
Right.
don't know. For me,
Like
it's like I like to do this maybe once every couple years. Like, yeah, I'm in a phase now where I'm like the next 18 months is probably going to just be building. I'm
And
not going to do
that's
this like
totally
yeah,
fine. Like, you do whatever makes you happy. The reason I do bodybuilding, and maybe it's not for the right reasons, it's not to be famous, it's not to be the greatest in the world. It's honestly to prevent myself from being fat.
hmm
Like, I come from a very big family. Like, everybody in my family is big. And like I have like one cousin, he was 675.
wow,
So, like, and for me, I got to 210. And that's terrifying. Like, to see yourself and to not recognize yourself. So, like, bodybuilding keeps me in check, kind of sometimes in an unhealthy way. Like, I will admit, sometimes I do have an unhealthy relationship with food. Like, I'm fearful of food, where I'm like, oh my God, if I have this one bite, it's going to mess up my entire week. But with my coach, Chris, he has helped so much as far as like teaching me, like, okay, when you eat this many grams of carbs, this is how many grams of water you hold. This is, like all the scientific breakdowns of it.
so you're not going to be killing yourself in your own mind if you see a little bit of weight come on the next day.
No,
Yeah,
no. Like, I think it's because my first show, like, I didn't have any help from my coach, because I pissed her off because I didn't want to continue coaching like being coached with her. Um, and I didn't reverse properly, and I gained 18 pounds in 3 days. And that's terrifying, especially as a female, because we're so judged on our appearance and how we look and everything. Um, so like my goal for this after USA's is reverse properly. I also have a wedding dress I need to fit in at the end of September. So like, and it got fitted, of course, when I was in prep. So that's really shitty. So
Yeah.
I kind of have to maintain for a little bit. Um, but yeah, like, would I love to like go pro and, become one of the best? Absolutely. Like, who wouldn't, right? Um, but I'm also not willing to die for the sport. Like, there are certain things I'm willing to take, and very much many things I'm not willing to take
Yeah.
because it took me this long to be feminine and find this Taylor that I'm not willing to lose her
Right.
for a title.
That's so important to have boundaries for sure.
Yeah, and my coach knows that. Like, we've talked about like what I'm willing to do, what I'm not willing to do, and he knows where I stand as far as like this is an absolute no. This is an absolute no. This is a yes as long as we stay low dose because like it's funny when I get such hate online, like people are like, "Oh, I hear the Anavar in her voice." And I'm like, "Y'all do realize that I smoke 2 packs of Marlboro Reds every single day when I was in the Corps, right? Like this is cigarette mom voice.
Yeah.
Like my voice is not anywhere near what I've heard some female bodybuilders sound like. And that's not for everybody. That's just luck of the draw, your dosage, all the things.
Right.
So,
Do you think there's a lot of women that are getting into it that are just trusting their coach and not like checking their blood work
yes,
and
yes, blindly following your coach is the most dangerous thing you can do. Like me and my coach just had a discussion about that. Like he brought something up, I asked questions. At first, we were discussing like what's the options here and just going through it. But it's okay to ask your coach questions. It is. Like, and you should be allowed to ask your coach questions. Like, that's why I'm so grateful for Chris, um, because he educates me. But I've had coaches where they get pissed at you. They'll put you on full blast for questioning them. And it's like, mm, no, like I'm putting this in my body.
right.
Like I can ask,
Hmm.
and I'm paying you. Like,
Yeah.
realistically. No, I've seen a lot of scary things because like as you've seen, like there's I won't name names, but there's a coach out there that has had a few competitors die with heavy drug usage, the wrong use of diuretics, just a bad mixture. And it's like, I don't want to be another statistic
Right.
as far as that.
Yeah, some hardware isn't worth it. Yeah.
No, no, no. That's why, and I don't know how it works for men. Like, I know like your guys' dosing's different, your food's different, like how you get coached is different. But I tell men the same thing. Like, if you have something in your heart or your mind that's bothering you, especially longer than 48 hours, make sure you say something to your coach. Like, it's okay to bring that up and be like, so you told me to take 600 whatever of tests, but like, I'm reading this. Like, can you explain? Like,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, it's okay because I've seen a lot of these young competitors, especially men, where like, if you're anywhere from like 18 to 25, your test levels are good. Like, you don't need to be bumping 800 of tests. Like, get you a coach that's knowledgeable but also has the right resume. Like so many people just like, "Oh yeah, I did a couple bodybuilding shows. I'm going to start coaching now." And then they go with them and it's like, "No." Like for me, I used to do personal training, but I only specify in like senior citizen rehabilitation, so like teaching them how to move their hips. And also weight loss
Yeah.
and like functional workouts. I don't specialize in bodybuilding. I don't specialize in prep. So like I've had people who've asked me like, "Can you prep me?" And I'm like, "No, because I have no idea,
Right.
and I'm not trying to make you sick." And I wish more people would admit that they're not qualified to be coaching these people.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, especially when they're the bodybuilding and the cut is just such a I'm not saying dangerous, but it can be if you're
Oh,
not doing it
yeah.
properly, and if that's, like,
I was
you're
a
putting
prep save my first one out. I had to switch coaches 8 weeks out of my first show. Um, and because I had to diet in such a hard way and then add in these drugs and all these things, um, my boss, because we were right across from the hospital where we were working, doctors were, like, pulling him aside and saying, like, "Something's really wrong with her. Her skin is turning yellow, her eyes are turning yellow." My liver was failing. Like, I was tremendously sick. So, like, yeah, it can be very, very dangerous. And like, people don't realize that they're not listening to their body because they're so focused on like not disappointing themselves, not disappointing people. I want to do well on stage. And it's like, your health is number one, like, absolutely number one, because you're never going to get that back if you don't take care of yourself now. So,
Yeah. So you got up to 210. At what point was it that you decided you wanted to do a bodybuilding show?
so after I left her and got back into the gym, once I got with my husband, um, I don't know. I got reached out to by Chris like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and he messaged me and he's like, "Hey, I really believed in you in your first show. Like your symmetry's amazing. Like really feel like genetically you're built for figure. Like, what would you think about doing it again?" And I was like, those doors have closed, my guy. Like, I don't really want to go through that shit again. But then for about a year, I thought about it and I was like, "Hmm, what if I just did it just to tell myself, like, maybe you could do it?" So I reached out to Chris again and I said, our conversation really stuck. Like, what would you think about it? And I mean, he hopped on that real fast. He's like, absolutely, let's crush it. Um, and he helped me completely rebuild myself. Um, I think it was just after going from 210 and then literally going down to like a buck 30 in a matter of like just a couple months because I couldn't afford food when I moved here. Um, kind of showed me like what my frame looked like again. I was like, "Oh, I'm actually a lot smaller than I think I am." Cuz like I've always thought of myself as kind of like a shit brick house, right? Like just
Right.
a sturdy blue collar girl. And
You're
then
just big boned.
like when I got really skinny, but cuz I'll be honest, like I did have a bit of a drinking problem. Um when I first started out with my husband. Um and I wasn't eating, but I was drinking a lot at one point. So, like, for stage, like right now, I'm at a 22-inch waist. Then I literally measured at 18 inches.
Wow.
Like, I was just skin and bones. And I told myself, this isn't healthy. I do like being skinny, but let's fix it. Let's do this in a way better way. So we put on 25 pounds to like build some muscle, utilize that for the gym. Um, and then it just kind of went uphill from there. Like it's really just worked out.
Yeah. At what point was it that you wanted to do your very first show, though?
Chris, Chris is telling me
Was that in
like,
2018?
oh, for 2018.
Yeah.
No. So I remember I I got out of the Marine Corps a few years before that. And I remember like, Instagram was starting to kick off and all the things. And I remember coming across the most gorgeous woman, Miss Dana Lynn Bailey, and seeing that and like seeing her muscles move and like all the things. And I'm like, I want to look like that. I want to do that. And then obviously you go down the rabbit hole of all the female bodybuilders like Wendy Fertino, stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I should give it a try. And then I had a second show ready for 2019. Um, 4 weeks out, it got canceled because of COVID.
Oh, shoot.
So that's when I really gave up because I'm like, I was 4 weeks out of doing this again. And like now it's gone. Um, but I'm glad I stepped back for sure.
Yeah. What was
Mhm.
your very first prep like?
That was hell. Um, my first prep was hard because like I love my first coach and she's passed away now. Um but she was very non-responsive, unfortunately. Left me in the dark cuz she was battling a lot of her own stuff. And that made me nervous, so that's why I switched 8 weeks out. Um, that was really mentally hard, but, like, God, I was disciplined, never cheated, got everything done. I mean, in bed by 7, up at 3, going to do fasted cardio, then the gym, all the things. I think it was kinda like that Marine Corps lifestyle, right? Like, you're on such a strict regimen and you have to do these things, otherwise you fail. So I think that's why the first prep was kind of not like, yes, it sucked, but it was more motivating than anything that I was like, "I did that. I can keep doing this," type of thing.
What did you do in, was it wellness or what?
No, I could never build great legs like that. No, figure. I've always done figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I first started with Chris, I wanted to be bikini, and he goes, "So, you a sturdy broad, we would have to, like, starve you. You'd have to be, like, 100 pounds to get that down. This isn't healthy." He's like, "You're naturally big backed. You're naturally like small waist, but big back. Like we would have to lose everything that you've worked for and then some." So I'm just not structurally built for bikini. And then wellness, I just I don't want to do their posing. It looks so uncomfortable the way they sit and move their no, like figure posing. Once you get it, it's easy. Like you just do your quarter turns and you're done.
Was posing a hard one for you? I know for me, that was, like, the hardest part. I was not a
I
good
didn't realize
poser.
how badly I had learned it the first time. So like every posing coach is different. So like if you're very serious about like wanting to go pro or like really wanting to do well at shows, not just to do it to stay in shape, I 100% believe that everybody should book with Kenny Wallish. I mean, he has over 650 pros that he has made. He's got Olympia wins. He's got Arnold wins. Like this man is the man of posing. And he's not a bodybuilder, so it's not like he, you know what I mean? He used to do judging. He knows what the judges want, and he calls himself dead center for a reason. And I truly believe I did well at Universe. I did well at Salt Lake City because of him and because of Chris. Like without those two, like if you look at my first posing pictures from 2018, I don't even know how I didn't fall over, cause like, whatever I was doing looked like a bird trying to jump out of the nest for the first time. It was the most awkward thing I've ever done.
Wha
Cause
Yeah.
posing for women, I don't know for men, but for women, like, you can have the best physique on stage, but if you do not hold your arms properly or you don't tighten your glutes right, or if your foot's out too much, you 100% eliminate everything you just did because now you did not showcase it.
It's crazy to think of how much work you have to put in for such a short amount of time on stage. Like,
Right?
I
15
know.
seconds on stage, but we're doing this for like, because I
Yeah.
started prep at 30 weeks out
Uh,
for Idaho muscle. So I've been in prep way over that now.
why'd you go so far out? It's usually, like, 16 weeks the longest is usually.
Slow and steady. That way, like you're not trying to make drastic changes. I asked my coach, I was like, I want to start prep now because I don't know how my body's gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna hold weird water weight. I don't know if you know what I mean, like all the variables. And also too, I have never done a prep with that coach yet. So I didn't know what his style was. So I rather go longer and try harder than doing some 16-week of scariness. Because like some bikini girls and other divisions, but like bikini is a good example, like they're kind of known as cardio bunnies, right? Like they're doing 2, 3 hours of cardio a day. Still to this day, an hour. That is not bad. An hour a day, I'll totally take that. But that's because I did it so slow and steady.
Yeah.
So I always recommend anybody like maybe 30 weeks is dramatic for some, but like I would honestly always start like a prep like 25 weeks out.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, because 'cause I've never heard anything longer than, like, 16. I thought I was doing it a little bit longer because I started around, like, 18 because I came in at 20%, that was pretty heavy for.
Yeah. And also it does come down to like what your body fat is. I don't know what my body fat was, but I know it wasn't like the greatest.
Yeah.
Um But I think just like the slower you can go, your coach is learning to like how your body reacts to certain things because like you're able to stay on certain foods longer. Like he didn't have to cut carbs until we were like a week and a half out from Idaho Muscle. And then we just kept staying carb free during the week. But like and again, it's not bashing on any coach, but like Chris is amazing because like he's so into health and mental health. Like he gives me a refeed every Saturday. I like today I'm getting 300 grams of carbs plus a cheat meal. Like the cheat meal's controlled. Like we discussed like what it's going to be. It's
Hmm.
gonna be a fat ass steak with a lot of potatoes, bread, all the things. But like I think there's a lot of coaches like during like a 18-week prep, they're not giving their clients a refeed. So now you're going to have a client that is absolutely deprived mentally and physically because it's good for the body, but they're going to overeat and they're going to become binge eaters like no other after the show. Because that's what happened to me my first show. I didn't get anything. So I was like, oh my God. So, like, all those, little Annies, the little Debbies, and all the
Hmm.
things, I literally packed a suitcase full of those things and just kept shoveling it over and over. I think I ate like a million Star Crunches and zebra cakes that weekend, 100%.
Yeah.
Because I had no self control.
Yeah, my reverse was wild. I gained like I think 18, 20 pounds within 10 days.
Were you following your coach's reverse or?
I didn't get one.
Oh, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Did you just not want one?
I didn't
Or
I wasn't given one. I didn't know anything like really.
so that's the hardest thing, yeah, because that's what happened to me my first show. Reversing is the most important. It's actually more important than the prep itself because like when you eat go back to normal eating, your body does not know what to do. So
Yeah.
like it's like you're not staying in your prep diet, but you're kind of are. And then you're slowly adding in food while slowly taking away cardio. So it's like you're staying in prep longer,
Yeah.
but because you're building your metabolism but in a different way. Cause like I've seen the smallest bikini girls ever, like I mean bite-sized. And they're eating like 300 grams of rice per meal 7 times a day because they reverse properly. Now their body can handle that massive amounts of food without gaining weight.
Yeah.
So I would say the best thing you can do is like get with a really I don't know who you have for a coach, but like get with a really good coach. Say this is what happened. Is there a way to reverse it now? This is how many weeks post I am. This is the weight I've gained and just
Yeah.
tell them your goals for it.
Yeah. 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 I've got another coach already. So, what are some red flags that people should look for when they like go to get a coach for the first time if they've never had any kind of experience with the bodybuilding coaches?
Coaches who have not been in the bodybuilding community very long and they have done a show and they're like, I can coach you. If they don't have their resume as far as like, their clients on their page, if you feel like they can't communicate, they can't operate well, um, just a lot of things. I think it's hard because, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? Like there's going to be low end coaches that are probably phenomenal, but it's about just figuring out their knowledge worth. Like Chris, my coach, Chris Santa Maria, oh, I can't talk. He's been coaching for 23 years. He's a pro. His wife is a pro. So he's prepped her a lot, but he's also made a ton of pros. That's part of his resume. He's also very education based. Like he dives deep into everything. He's not just some Instagram dude learning through, because a lot of coaches who are bodybuilders will just copy and paste what their coaches used and recreate it type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing I get leery on. Or being coached by friends. That I really would never do. I love having my coach. Not, I would love if Chris was here in Idaho because then obviously I could train with him. But it is nice not having my coach here locally because one, I can show myself that I can do it without being babysat.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's the cool thing about like the online training that I'm doing. Um, is yeah, like some of the clients are like, well, can you come train me in person? I was like, I think you need to learn this on your own,
Are they
because
just
like
asking for like like trying to learn form though?
no, they just want like in
They want a
person.
cheerleader.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, here's the thing, when you have like a workout buddy or something and then they call off and you're relying on them, now you have an excuse.
Right.
If you can learn to do this by yourself, it's different,
100%. Like I won't lie. Like do I get a better workout when I'm with people?
Right. 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Like Janelle, she goes by Kitten online. I get to work out with her this week. I'm working out with Mary and Charlie. I'm scared as shit to work out with Charlie. He's doing legs with us and he's been cackling about it. He's like, "I'm going to destroy you." And I'm like, "Oh, that's great." This off season I am going to try something different like Corey Linder.
Yeah.
I booked a session with him because I want to be taught how to push past limits. Especially like when I'm by myself, I have a really hard time of yeah, I can go to failure, but I really want somebody to show me what my failure is. Cuz like I think I've been in such a rut of doing the same movements for so long, and there's certain things I really really need to change. So I am excited to start training with a person in person type of thing.
Yeah. So all your stuff has just been on your own and then just like with
Mhm.
some workout friends?
Yeah. Like, well, I don't work out with many people very often.
You're
It's been
primarily at the Mecca, right?
yeah, I work out at Mecca, um, which is really nice. I work out with Laura Pulkinen. I think if I butchered your name wrong, I'm so sorry. Um, and then Morgan.
Mhm.
They're awesome. And then I've worked out with Jen Dart. She's the sweetest thing.
She's cool.
I love Jen. And
I think she gave me my medal at Idaho. She was like one of the stage girls.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep, with black
Yeah.
hair. She's adorable. Um, but and then I'm starting to meet new people to work out with. But like me and my husband go together. So like he works from home because he has a very important job. And so I have to like kind of go when he doesn't have a meeting or he's got a gap. And sometimes I don't like leaving people hanging like, so I think I can go at 12, but like Ivan's running like 30 minutes behind. Like, do you care? But since he travels so much for work, like he's going to Asia soon, he's going back to Europe again. Um, so that during those travel times, I book it up with people and I'm like, let's get a lift in. Like, you destroy me in legs, I'm going to destroy you in back, type of thing.
That's
So,
awesome.
mhm.
So what's next for you? I know you got the Worlds coming up next. Is that right?
USA's.
USA. Okay.
Yep. That's in Vegas. Figure goes on the 24th. And then I'm hoping I can take it since I was just one place away from earning that pro card. But regardless of what happens, everything happens for a reason. I'm still taking that off season. We're
Yeah.
done.
So if you get your pro card, what does that mean for you?
I definitely want to compete at a pro level. Like I definitely want to see what I'm fully capable of doing. But regardless, I would take a year and a half. If I didn't go pro, because I'm still qualified for nationals because I placed in the top 3, um, I would just take the year off and do nationals next summer. But if I go pro, I would like to take a year and a half off to build because like pros are no joke. I mean, their muscle maturity and density is at a way different level than what my conditioning is. Just because they've been able to go and prep constantly and keep going, they've got a different level of detail that MPC just doesn't have because they've been doing it at such a longer time, deeper level, and obviously different things that they're taking too.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I've always wondered like what it means to go pro. I've heard of people say like I'm gonna get my pro card, but I really don't know what life is like after that for them. Like, does
It's
just
just acting
sponsorships
like a
open up or
professional.
okay?
So like there's nothing different. I mean, in a sense, like how you treat an MPC prep is how you should treat a pro prep, right? Like you should take it as seriously as possible. Um, because at that level you're acting like a professional. It's not like You're gonna get brand deals. It's not like you're gonna make mega millions, especially for women. Like women don't make shit off these shows,
Yeah, that's
you
what I was
know?
just hearing. Like the
Yeah,
Olympia winner is like 25,000 or something.
yeah. But like, I wouldn't do it for the money. I mean, yeah, who wouldn't be, would it be cool to be like sponsored by brands and stuff and get like that cool stuff? Absolutely. Is that the goal though? No. Am I gonna be devastated if I don't get it? No. Um, I really just want to show myself that I'm much more capable than what Taylor 10 years ago thought about herself.
Yeah.
Cause like, there was a time like when I did try to take my own life and I felt worthless and all the things and I just want to make that Taylor proud, to be honest. That's like my only goal is to show her that she is so worth waking up every morning for.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
So,
sure you've definitely done that by now. like
yeah. But there's still days where like I can still, like, yeah, during prep, like you got the six pack, you got the veins. I still see 200-pound Taylor looking back at me every morning with a short, choppy black hair and sad and sinking face. Like, that's what I see. And I'm working really hard to not see her anymore or to just learn to love her in in a sense where she heals. Because bodybuilding's been able to teach me that I don't have to sacrifice myself for other people. Like my husband allows me to be selfish. Like yes, my jobs are to take care of him, take care of my stepson, take care of the house, but that man never makes it feel like an obligation. Like he tells me like if you don't want to cook us dinner tonight because you're tired, then don't. If you need to go to the gym, like yesterday, his meeting ran late. He goes, go to the gym. I know you have everything timed. Just go. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like he allows me to be selfish. Not everybody has that. You know what I mean? So I'm very blessed and fortunate because like in my past relationships, that would have not flown
hmm
at all. I remember when I did my first competition, I was married to my ex-husband and I was pretty starting to piss him off because I was moody, right? Like and I was being very selfish and he wasn't a bodybuilder. So it really just depends on if you're single, great, because then you can just focus on yourself. But if you're in a relationship, you have to have the right partner to do this.
Yeah.
100%. Like was your wife like really supportive of your bodybuilding?
Yeah, she was. She was really great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And we have 4 kids too, so that was even
Woo!
yeah. Yeah, so that was a rough one for me too, because then I'm always wanting to like eat their snacks and their food and stuff, Like kids always have the best snacks.
Oh yeah, like you should. I don't know if you've seen like any of my cooking videos, but like
I was
I
gonna ask you, how do you bake all that stuff and you're in prep and you're not eating it?
so okay, funny enough, so I do still have a nicotine problem. I don't smoke ciggies because they smell. Otherwise, I would totally go back to cigarettes. Yes, do I suck on the flavored USB stick? Yes, I do. But I'm trying to slowly wean off of it. So I figured, because I just taught myself how to cook when I got with Ivan. I didn't know how to cook. I didn't come from a family that cooked us dinner or anything. But I didn't want him thinking I was useless. So I was like, you gotta learn, girl. And baking, I just started shit like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Just watched a TikTok video and I was like, how hard could that be? So I started doing it and I actually found something I'm really good at. Keeps my hands busy. So I can't suck on my vape all the time. Cause I
Yeah.
mean, I go through a vape a week.
Really?
Oh yeah. Easy. Easy. Cause it's my stressor. Cause
Yeah,
also
yeah.
too, like I have so I have ADHD diagnosed, not TikTok diagnosed with OCD tendency. So like I have like everything in my house labeled glass jars. Like I'm one of those. So like keeping my hands busy without trying to like observe things in my house of like what needs to be clean, what needs to be fixed, all the things. It definitely allows me to not suck down the nicotine because I also can't do lip pillows. I don't know how girls do the whole pouches and stuff. That would make me die. Like I would probably vomit.
Did you ever chew?
No, no.
I've seen some girls that like you
Are
would
you
just
talking
think
about
they're
like
like,
loose dip?
yeah.
Oh, That's a different
Like,
breed of girl.
that's
Like,
what I'm saying.
that's a
Yeah.
different breed.
Yeah.
There is a girl when I was in the Marine Corps, I'll never forget her. She was in charge of ammo at Pulgus. And I was like, God, why is she holding her mouth like that? And she had the horseshoe on top and the horseshoe down below. And I was like, girl, do you got double ends? She goes, yeah. And I'm like, and I never saw her spit. So
She's just gutting it.
I was like, do you swallow that? And she goes, yeah, I ain't no bitch. And I'm like, it's not about being a bitch. It's about like your stomach at that point. And I don't know. My dad loose dipped. And I'll never forget, like, so he would drink Mountain Dew a lot. And so he had one bottle of Mountain Dew, but then he had an empty bottle of Mountain Dew. I accidentally drank the wrong bottle.
Oh
So
gosh.
I'll never forget that. And like how bad I threw up from drinking his dip.
Ugh.
And so I was like, nope, 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 nope. And also too, like my husband, he does pouches.
Uh-huh.
I told him straight up, if you loose dip though, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Honestly, DV on my record because that shit is nasty as hell. I'm not dealing with it at all. Gross. Mm-mm.
That's wild. Yeah, tell him your old days are gonna come back out.
Absolutely. Oh, it's so funny too because like one, he thinks he's a god because he converted a mask dyke into a straight femi girl. Like he literally goes like, "I saved you from sin," and I'm like, "Shut up!" And he's like, "No, I did." And he's not religious or anything. He's ex-Mormon, so he doesn't like go into like he doesn't think of it as sin, but he just jokes that way.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, at least your name, like, you could just keep Taylor,
I know.
right?
You know
So at
what's
least,
funny about that is like I asked my mom. I was like, "Why the fuck did you name me Taylor?" Because like in the '90s, mostly boys were Taylor.
yeah,
Um, and she's like, "So my thoughts were if I named you Taylor and you go to a job application, they're not gonna know if you're a boy or girl, so they can't be sexist towards you." And I was like, "You dumbass! There is like they ask you male or female.
right,
Check one." She
yeah,
goes, "I didn't think that far ahead," and I was like, "Okay." That's cool.
yeah. In the '90s, everybody had like there was like 5 names everybody had. You know, it was like even in every classroom there
Oh,
was
you
like
got
always the same.
Ashley, Hannah,
That's my wife's name's Ashley. Yeah, right. You got like Brittany.
Brittany.
Yeah.
Yup, yup.
There was always like I grew up in Utah and it was very Mormon, so it was all Bible names. Like my name is Matthew, obviously. So there was a bunch of Matthews.
Just like I had never, like, I've met Pauls, right? Like, my best friend back home is Paul,
Yeah.
but like, he's the only Paul I knew. Here, everybody's name is Paul. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, it is very Bible names. Ezekiel. I've met a lot of
Right.
Ezekiels lately. Um, I said, yeah, that was a culture shock because like we don't really have Mormons in not where I was at. Like we had a
Yeah.
couple, but like learning what Mormonism is, I was like, oh, okay. Very,
Yeah.
very interesting. I was working at a funeral home for a little bit. I was working over at Bowman's and I wanted to
What a
like,
wild job.
yeah, picking up dead people and dressing
Really?
them. Yeah.
Oh, you were like not just admin or anything. You were like doing the.
No, I was doing the dirty work.
Oh, we got to hop into that. That's wild.
Like that was my dream is to be a mortician.
No way. That's your dream is to work with dead bodies.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because so like I was raised by my grandparents because my mom had me so young. And I lost them when I was about 7, 8 years old. And I'll never forget like not understanding death. And the mortician like sat me down and really had that talk with me. It wasn't like the family. Like he sat with me and like talked with me. And it really just opened my eyes. And I remember how I know it sounds weird, but like how beautiful he made my grandmother look. Like she didn't look sick anymore. Like she just looked like she was sleeping. And something really peaceful about that. And also too like doing funeral detail in the Marine Corps as well. Um like with all the deaths and stuff. I don't know, death I feel like is such a misunderstood thing because it's like people are scared of it or scared of bodies, but like when I would get a body on my table, it's not them anymore. It's just their shell. So like your job is to bring peace to the family. So like make them look nice, comb their hair, curl the old lady's hair and make sure her makeup looks the way it did when she was alive, type of thing. And there's something so peaceful about that. Also, too, the person on the table can't argue with you. Like I've worked a lot of customer service, just saying. And there's this, you just put your headphones in and do your thing. Funeral directing, though, would have never done it. Families get mean and nasty, and you see sides of people that are just disturbing. The dead is much more peaceful.
What was it like working on your first dead body? Like, was that a learning curve, or were you just like in for it? You were just good.
I've already seen so much death, so
Yeah.
like it didn't bother me. The only thing that was hard was I'll never forget that my first day, I walked into the cooler and there was a 12-year-old. I had
Oh,
never seen a child. That that was the I'm not a mom, but I remember my stomach just dropping cuz unfortunately it was she took her life.
oh wow.
And so it did open my eyes to being like, okay, you're going to start seeing some shit that you have never seen. Like baby caskets. That's really hard. Children in general, suicides, stuff like that, or like the saddest thing is like there's people that are sitting in the cabinet for 20 years. Nobody's picked up because funeral homes can't dispose of your ashes freely. Technically, they're still owned by whoever.
Really?
Yeah. So like unfortunately, like there is a filing cabinet in all funeral homes that have ashes that nobody's claimed.
So the crematorium is also in the same building. It's not like a
Not
separate.
all funeral homes, but the one I was at, yeah. Yeah, they a beautiful facility. Like I absolutely adore them. I would totally recommend them. Um we handled Officer Tobin's funeral.
Oh, really?
Mhm. So like
Oh, it
it's
was here locally. It wasn't in Minnesota.
no, it was right over at Bowman's.
Oh, Bowman's. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
sorry, you said that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just really, really great. And yeah, doing cremations and embalmings and all the things like I think that stuff's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's wild. Yeah, I've. I mean, it's not wild. It's just like I would have never thought that that'd be like someone's dream job. Or I know there's a lot of people make a lot of emotional decisions, and it gets expensive quick though. That's a whole other side of it. But like people can really spend a lot of money on a funeral.
Yes. Yes,
It's
100%.
like weddings and funerals are like two of the most emotional spending times that people
That's
do
why
in
we
their
just
life.
me and my husband we eloped in our living room and then we're going to do like a real elopement in Switzerland so we can do like the pretty pictures and have like a honeymoon. But it's
Yeah.
still just me and him. We both have been married before. We don't need the big party, nothing. And then for my death, in my will it states, I do not care what you do, just put me in the oven and then disperse of me how you please. I don't care. Do not get me a tombstone, don't get me a casket, don't spend any of that. Just burn me, be done with it.
Yeah.
Very realistic.
It's a lot of money for a casket. It
It
is
is.
crazy.
It is. It is.
It's like a small car.
Yeah, and that's you know what I mean. It is crazy what people spend. That is one reason where I loved where I worked. They're not corporate owned. You'd be that one. They're the nicest funeral home here in Idaho, but they will not charge you the way others charge. It is so much tremendously less than what other places charge. Because funerals, just like it's like owning a Papa Murphy's, all these big California companies are buying up funeral homes because it's constant revenue.
Right.
And you'd be surprised what's not privately owned and what you would swear was, but they're owned by another company. So that's why you're being charged outlandish.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
What's some of the wildest requests you've seen at a funeral?
Nothing like super crazy. There was this one funeral that I had to work at where um the siblings like got up and started like singing and stuff and it was just really It was really cringy. Where and like I don't know. Um Mormon services are long. Very long.
Yeah.
So long. And there's so many people that show up and everybody wants to talk and I'm like, "Oh my goodness. I just I want to go home." Cuz like I'm in so like that was one thing like I don't know if that's in different states but like the owner is Mormon and we do a lot of Mormon services and Catholic. And she's like, "You will not wear pants." So I'm in a pencil skirt, I'm in heels, pantyhose, dress, suit top. I'm hot. I don't want to wear this shit no more. And I'm sitting at like a 4 hour long service because we're going through everybody's stories of beloved George. And I'm just like, okay.
100 degrees outside. You're like, come on, people,
Oh,
wrap it up.
wrap it up, wrap it up. No.
He's been dead for a while.
Yup. Yup. No, and I've seen like the only things I've seen is like people just like getting like you be telling happy stories, but like angry people get up to that mic and they're like, "So and so fucked me over," and I'm like, you know, like we did have one woman. She was getting her husband cremated, and you think this woman would be sad, so his mother dropped off like a suit for him to be cremated in. The wife showed up and threw like ripped up like wife beater and basketball shorts and said, "No, change him into this." And we were like, "Why?" And he goes, "Because he's a piece of shit." And I was like, "Oh, okay, sounds good. I don't know what to do here."
Do you guys handle any of the like the wills part of it of like who gets what at the end, or is that someone else?
No, that's something completely different.
I would
At
say like
least
those movie scenes where they're like, I'm getting everything. And they're like, nope, he actually left everything to this person.
no, that would actually be like a legal office.
Oh, okay.
That would deal with that.
I'm sure
Like
they
for
got some great
us,
stories
like
too.
we do set up like a lot of people who are alive, like I already have my funeral paid for. I paid for it when I was like, well, why not? Might as well pay that price now
Yeah.
in case I die, right?
Right.
But like living people come in and they pick out their casket, they pick out their urn. They say, they ask all the weird questions like, what's it like to be burned? I don't know. Everybody that goes in there is dead,
Right.
type of thing. So yeah, just like odd things. I don't
Yeah.
know. It is an odd job. And then when I stopped working there, that's when my husband was like, I was still his girlfriend just at the time, and he's just like, so I would really like you to just be home. No more picking up dead people. Just like, what would you think about being a housewife? And I was
Yeah.
like, that's weird. I
Yeah.
don't know if I could. And yeah, it's been good.
How long was that adjustment for you? I guess you're
Hell,
probably
I'm still
yeah.
adjusting. It is weird having someone pay my way. Like I do have Marine Corps disability for some stuff that had happened. So like I still pay for my own car. I pay for my coach, but that's realistically it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else, like I do rely on him. Um, it's just weird. It is weird. I get such fulfillment though. Like how appreciated I feel by him for doing all the things I do cuz I don't know, he constantly gives me reassurance on how much he really appreciates it and he treats me with respect and my stepson is amazing. He's a wicked almost 14-year-old. He's one of those little assholes going down the roads in the e-motos
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
popping wheelies and stuff. And it's just so cool to watch him and just live this life because like I'm unable to have children and so I never got to have my own and so it's just really cool to build this relationship with Colt and not have to worry about like a job. Like I can just be fully present for my stepson and for my husband.
That's cool.
Hmm.
That's cool that you're a good stepmom. There's a lot of terrible ones out there.
Yeah,
So
mine sucks and I hope she rots in hell if you ever watch this.
yeah, I had a pretty bad one too. So
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was a lot of 7 years of abuse that nobody knew about until I think 2 years ago I came out with it. So
Oh, my stepmom, she would write my mom letters begging my dad to sign away his rights and telling me that I'm a piece of shit and hated me. I was 5. I was like, how do you hate me?
yeah,
But oh well, like there are bad step parents out there.
yeah,
Um, but
It's also one of those things you can look back and like, I've survived. Like, I remember when I went through the cert academy and there was like the DIs yelling at me. I was like, I had a lady yelling at me that actually did hate me. There's
Right.
getting paid for it.
Right. Exactly. And I think too, like what really helps, and like I do know that and it's okay to love your kids, but I do know parents that don't like their kids because their kids are mean. I'm very fortunate that my stepson he's so sweet. Like, is he a little spoiled? Yeah, he is. But he comes from a completely different lifestyle than I am. I didn't grow up in the type of social class that he is. And but even with the things that he gets, he's the sweetest, well-mannered, respectful
It's awesome.
child, especially for an almost 14-year-old. I see some of these 14-year-olds and like I'm old school. I do believe that kids should get hit. I've hit some of my friends' kids. I don't care. If you're not going to whack your shit out of your kid, I'll do it. Cuz
Yeah.
like F that. Like
Yeah.
I grew up with that. Like I'll remember my dad gave me the belt. I
Yeah.
remember that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When my grandpa would make me pick out a switch, like a branch, and hit you. Hmm. That was always fun.
It's a character builder.
It's character building. But kids nowadays don't know that stuff. And like with Colt, I mean, it's really nice. I can just have a very simple conversation, but I'm very sarcastic. Like, and also it kind of does help. Like, so my husband is older than I am, and me and my stepson are 18 years apart. And so I kind of still talk the way he does because, like, we created the lingo that they're trying to use now.
Yeah.
Like, we're the original cool kids. And I'll talk to him the same way he talks to his friends. And that makes him such more relaxed because it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not breathing down his neck. I'm not lecturing him. I'm just like, hey, little bro, like, quit your
Yeah.
fucking shit, clean up your room, and then I'll make you breakfast real quick. How about that? And he's cool with it because
Yeah.
I do know that he feels stressed out in other situations.
Yeah.
So,
I've heard some cops talk about that. They call it code switching. That like if they're talking between like an old lady versus like they're talking to little kid or younger
yes,
adults on the streets, like they'll code switch and they'll start talking to them like they would be talked
it's
to.
also it's a mirroring tactic in sales. I did that in
Yeah.
sales. A lot of people say that's you being fake. It's not being fake. It's like, so when I sold appliances after I was done delivering, I was one of the top in my store. And the best thing I could do is like, if you get somebody with a low demeanor, you don't want to be overpowering. You don't want to like take over them and make them feel smaller. Mimic who's in front of you. Try to read them and try to figure out what it is they need from you. Do they need someone soft? Do they need someone who is a little assertive to make the decision for them? And I feel like that comes in handy in life too, because
Yeah.
it helps you connect with people in such a way that I don't know, because if you can explain that, like,
Right.
it's just, I don't know. Some people just try to put on this front of 24/7, and it's like, read the room,
Yeah.
you know?
There's so many little nuggets you can pull from every job that you have. Like it's something that you wouldn't even think is applicable to any other job that you're at, like a funeral home versus like a sales job. Like you could probably take stuff from each one of them and use on
Oh,
each one of
yeah.
them, you know?
Yeah, that's why I'm really excited, and I really hope my book goes somewhere because it's not like a how-to book. It is conversational writing, so it's not like paragraphs. It's literally broken into sentences, so it feels like what we're doing right here. It feels like a conversation. It gives my input on like, some stuff that I went through and the psychology behind it, and I don't know. I have a weird ass resume. I very much do. So like certain things I've learned, and I feel like the reason my life is so good now is because I stopped repeating everything. I
Yeah.
stopped repeating my stupid mistakes. I stopped trying to fix people. I'm not trying to feed energy into people that don't need it. Like I used to be somebody who would always be kind to the underdog, right? To the girl that people are misunderstanding. And I'm like, stop doing that. It's not your job to save anybody. If they can't save themselves and want to save themselves, it's not your job, nor it's a waste of your energy. You can give them kindness, but you don't have to let them into your time.
Right. Yeah, you're definitely one of the people that like fit the saying like don't judge a book by the cover because like there's so much more
100%.
behind you than like what people might just see.
Oh yeah, I've had people message me and they're like, "I'm not gonna lie. So when I saw you, I thought you were gonna be like a total stuck up C type of Barbie girl, and like you're chill." And I'm like, "Yeah, I promise." Like
Yeah,
I'm shy though, so like because I have such a weird past,
yeah,
I never know where to start. Or
right.
like people will ask me like, "Oh, like have you been married?" How do I get into that? Yeah, I've been married to both genders. You want to hear about that fucking story or no?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I do have a weird background, so I do get hesitant on opening up to people.
yeah,
So if people see me, they can always come up and say hi. Because I'll be super friendly. I don't
yeah,
have hella RBF, maybe once in a while, like right now because of USA's, but it'll go away in a couple weeks.
yeah. That's awesome. Well, where's a good spot for everybody to follow along with your journey?
Honestly, probably just Instagram. I mean, I don't really use TikTok. I just kind of copy paste it because I'm like, well,
Yeah,
Instagram, I'm getting better. I'm not like a social media guru. I'm still trying to figure it out. That edits app is so handy.
so nice.
It's
Yeah,
so handy for people like me because I'm not tech savvy at all.
I feel like Instagram pushes it out more if you use their app too. To
Oh
I feel like because it's
yeah,
got like
100.
that little banner that says like made in edits and stuff.
Yes, yes, it does. Yeah, and also too, like love talking with people. So if people see me at the gym or whatever, don't like feel like you're bothering me or disturbing my workout. Like people can always ask me questions and be like, so you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
awesome. You like to talk to people.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm a big talker.
Well, I appreciate you coming on here. Like, I know just from meeting you and seeing you at the different shows that I was at, and I was like, I think I'd really be cool to talk to her.
Well, thank you. And it was
Yeah,
so good seeing you at your show. You really did do good.
I
Like
appreciate it.
you
There's a lot of
did.
work to do, but I definitely am proud of like the package I was able to do in 16 weeks from going from like a
Well, and also
20%.
too,
Like,
you're like, especially as a parent, as
yeah,
one, like you're not dealing with the average person's problems. Like you have four little ones. You also have a wife to take care of. You
yeah,
have a job. You know what I mean? Like there's so
yeah,
many different factors. Like for me, I am fortunate. Like I don't have biological children. I have my stepson every other week. I take
yeah,
care of my husband, but I'm home.
right.
So you
Yeah,
have a lot more stress than the average competitor.
yeah,
So you have to give yourself major props for
yeah,
doing even as remotely as well as you did.
yeah. I'm glad I
Because,
did it. It was good.
oh, yeah. I'll be
It also
excited to
resets
see.
your standards too of like
It
what they expect
does.
in life.
I promise you, when you look at your first show photos and then when you do one in like a year or so, you're going to be like, what the
Yeah,
like, why did I go on stage like that? No,
right.
because that's how I looked at mine. And like now I'm like, I got it.
Yeah,
So just push and grind. And also don't put pressure on yourself to do a show. Like some people just want to look like a competitor, but never
yeah.
step on stage again.
I think I've kind of fell into that trap because I was talking to my coach. I was like, I want to get back on stage next year. Like, he's like, don't get back on stage until at least next fall. And I was like, well, I like hunting too much. I'll never do a fall show. And he's like, looks like you're doing the next spring then. Give it a couple, give it like 18, 24 months off then.
Honestly, and that's really good. And it also just depends too, like what you're willing to do for the sport. And
Yeah.
just be open with a coach on that and protocol and certain foods. But the biggest thing is like if you want to feel better, I would just talk to a coach and see if it isn't too late to do like some form of a reverse or do like a little mini cut and then do a reverse. Because
Yeah.
then that way you can, it's not like you put on fat. It's
Right.
impossible for you to have put on fat this fast.
Yeah.
It's water.
Oh, yeah.
It's
No, I have
water
the Hume
retention.
body scale. And
Yeah.
so I would just stand on it like that week following and I would like see the number because I think my show weight was like around 195. And I seen it was like it got up to like 216 at one point. It was wild. And I was like,
Oh, I
and
get
I,
it.
I wouldn't grab the handles because I didn't want to know like how much body fat or like anything because I was like, I don't want to see this number. And then finally I was like, stop being a bitch. And then I just did it like finally, I think it was probably a week later. I was like, all right, grab the handles. And I was lower in body fat than I was in my show weight, but I was way more weight, but I would muscle more. And then yeah, water weight was up there. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I
Because
should have
just
just looked at
after
this.
Universe, so like I stuck to my basic cheat meal after Universe. I had a steak, hella fries, potatoes. I had one of my big cookies, just like I did for the Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, I didn't hold any water. Like 2 pounds the next day. After Universe, cheat meal, and then I traveled home. So I stepped on stage at 122. I showed up back in Boise, 140.
Wow.
So like that's how much water I was holding. Luckily, we backed down to 124. I was stressing.
Yeah.
I was very much stressing. Oh, I had a breakdown though. I
Yeah.
told my coach, I was like, I'm a fat fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know anything that
'Cause-
that was a thing, like the post-show blues. I didn't even know what that. I was telling someone at the cigar night I went to, I was like, I just feel like a piece of shit, man. He's like, oh, it's all right. You're just going through the post-show blues. I was like, what's that? And then he was explaining to me. I was like,
It
oh,
is. It's a very real
I
thing.
Googled it and I was like, oh, okay, this is a thing. He's not just BSing me. Okay.
Yeah. No, and it's hard because it's also like learning to accept your new body.
Yeah.
Because you're used to looking a certain way.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, things soften and you're
Yeah.
like, I'm fat. And
Yeah.
realistically, you're not, right?
Right.
Like, you're like, oh my God.
Filling up with glycogen and water again. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's going to be, I think, my hardest thing.
It
It's
does
going to be
suck.
post-show.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice that I have to stay skinny to fit my wedding dress
Right.
until the end of September. But like once October hits, and I actually have to start putting on some weight so I can move some stuff in the gym.
Winter's baking season, so you're good.
Yeah. It's just, so scared.
Yeah. Well, cool. I'm so glad he came on. We'll have to keep in touch. I'm sure I'll see you at 3D then. So
Absolutely.
you have to let me know what day you're going there. I might have to stop in.
What was that?
You have to let me know what day you guys are going this week, and I'll have to stop in or something.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Oh, perfect.
Mhm.
All right.
All right, perfect.
Thanks for
Well,
coming
thank
on.
you.